Right, guys, thanks for joining me tonight. Melissa here. We have a 3-day weekend pretty much with the holiday coming Monday. So some people do, some people don't. I do have a job on Sunday to do. So guys, um, don't be afraid, ladies, to challenge everything. Challenge it. I had a situation again at work, and when you have a situation, as always, you should be able to have somebody who's looking out for you, to talk to you, to help you out, right? So I had said to a boss, look, this boss, so to say, shift leader or whatever you want to call her, is being, kind of like not only rude, but then I let him know, she took me off the register and said, I can't have you on register. I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but I can't have you on register because you're training. Now, the day before that and the other day before that, I was on register and I had orders from the other bosses to be on register. So this is the same lady who I told you had already set the tone and was pretty rude. So, so I went to him to talk to him about it. I put it in writing, and he's like, yeah, she does come across stern and pretty direct, beyond direct, guys. I mean, she was like yelling at everybody because somebody had missed like something in a bag, right? And the person training me is like, let's not go over there right now because she's taking a fit. Let's wait over here until she's done taking a fit. So, I mean, you shouldn't have to be intimidated at work, right? So she's taking a fit. She's the owner of the place. He actually said hi to me. He introduced himself to me. He was there working with his hands, which I love to see an owner involved. And she couldn't give me the time of the day as a new person. She couldn't say hi. She couldn't do anything. All she could do was stand there and watch me and be very intimidating. So I told my boss about this, and he's like, yeah, she doesn't mean to be. That's just the way she is. And so he's like, she's just very direct because she likes to get her point across. And I'm like, I understand that. I can see that when we sat down and talked. But later today I said there's a difference between being direct and being pretty rude. I said if the owner of the place can say hi and he can make people feel welcomed when they're there, then she should follow step, right? And all the other managers, very nice. This place is known for a friendly culture, right? So I said, these are your processes. Oh, I also said, look, you're going to have to change my schedule, or I'm going to ask you to change my schedule now because I have this other, job that has come through kind of deal. And I had already put it on like hot schedules. And he's like, if you want some help doing this, I'll help you. And I'm like, yeah, because that didn't, it didn't come out right. I need some help with it because I don't know what it was, tech or whatever, but it wasn't allowing me to put what I needed down. So that was like, he's like, yeah, no problem, no problem. I'm going to help you with that. We're going to get it all set. So then when we sit down to talk, so his writing says one thing, then we sit down to talk, and he's like, that may be a problem. He's like, and because it's a problem, we probably will have to part ways because we probably can't, we're not sure if we can really change your schedule. And he's like, you're probably only going to get a few hours at night. And I'm like, that's fine. So anyways, I texted him this morning and he's like, just don't be surprised or be blindsided if we part ways because we might not be able to give you a schedule. And I confronted it. And I'm like, not only are you back and forth, and I can't depend on you because you're back and forth, but you also have somebody basically intimidating me and harassing me. So I came right out with it, guys. And when I talked to him the first day, he's like, I can't be out front, so I don't really know what's going on. Well, I said, well, thank you for the open door policy. Thank you for keeping this between us. And sure enough, I knew he had talked to somebody because this person left me alone that day. And ladies, you have to do that. If somebody's like bullying you at work, you need to say something. So that person didn't say much that day except the end of the day. She said, have a good day. And that was it, right? So I went back to him and I'm like, why is it that you are telling me to go back to her and have open communication when she's already showed me who she is? She's already showed me she's not a leader, basically. I said, if you want a natural leader, let me know. Because a natural leader will influence people. They're not going to be controlling. They're going to influence people for good. They're going to be like this. They're going to be like this. I said, anytime I work at a place, I look at the culture, right? Culture is everything, guys. So, yeah. So yesterday, because I said something about the register, they put me back on it. And I've had everybody saying, good job, everything. But there was one situation I'm not going to talk about where it was a setup. And they will try to cover themselves to try to find something on you. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get to them before they get to me. So today I was just like, yeah, and this is what you did, and this is against the law, and this is what you did, and this is what you did. So I said, guys, it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. If you're going to a workplace and they want to come down on you, I said, as a matter of fact, they wanted to come down on me. I said, let me come down on you. I said, as a matter of fact, I was working and I asked somebody, what do you think of this job? And they're like, oh, it's a job. And then I said, what do you think of this job? And this girl goes, I'm really stressed about this job because it's perfection. Perfection. So, I just laid it out and told him the way it was. And he actually erased my comments. And I said, there's no point in training me if you're just going to fire me in 30 days because a schedule is problematic. So that was after I had mentioned this lady who was kind of, not a leader material at all, guys. The other leaders, there's one there, major encourager, major, very good. But when you see somebody trying to bully you at work or they're insecure or whatever it is, and I called it on here right away, I'm like, she just set the tone. That's not a leader, guys. You don't not introduce yourself to someone as a leader, because I'm there like, who in the world is this person? What is her job as she stands here and watches me? And when you do have a problem, you need people to take care of you. You need people to be able to say, okay, this is where you want to go and this is who you want to talk to. And he did say you could go to the other person, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, they're best buddies, right? I'm not going to do that. So he said, you can come back to me, we can take it from there. But I said, you shouldn't be telling me to go to her in the first place to talk to her, because we already have an issue. Obviously something is wrong. So I don't know what it was, guys. I started work. I'm a good worker. And so I said, unfortunately, I have to do what's best for me. I have a job that's going to give me more hours. You won't guarantee it. You won't even guarantee me, nights. You won't guarantee me anything. So he's like, I understand. He's like, do what's best for you. And I go, I need to do what's best for me. And unfortunately, you guys not being dependable is something that I can't do. So guys, I would have never said this stuff years ago. When I used to work, I was pretty quiet. I didn't really say a whole lot. But as you work, guys, when you have a company that wants to hire you and, it looks like they're going to be great and all this stuff, and then you have to communicate and say, hey, these are my needs. I have to make sure I can take care of not just myself, but look out for my family, etc. You want a company who understands. So like I said, I never used to say anything, and now I do. I communicate, and as soon as the problem starts at work, I am just like, I'm right on it. I'm like, no, I don't think you're going to talk to me like this, or not talk to me or whatever. So yesterday, I guess word got around because she didn't say a word to me, where before she was a little more bullying. So yeah, she already has a reputation for being stern and being the way she is. So don't be afraid, guys, to speak up for yourself. It's your life, it's your job. You have to make sure that you are looking out for number one always. Okay, thanks for joining me, guys.